Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 14 of Local 145 San Diego Firefighters 19 Days of Supporting COVID-19 project. This is a project where we're giving away $3,000 a day for 19 days, totaling $57,000. I always like to point out the fact that this money is money that was given to the community through our own paychecks. This is not a supplemented thing that we do. We do this from our hearts, something that we really felt was necessary, especially during this time. So shout out to all the Local 145 members, our president, Jesse Connor, and the entire cabinet that made this effort a reality for us. Really grateful to have the opportunity to give back to the community that tends to always be so responsive and give to us as first responders. And this is just a small token of our appreciation to say thank you for all the great work that's being done throughout all of the council districts in San Diego City. I just want to start off by, and this is Council District 4. Last time we were here, I figured there was a couple people that probably didn't know the People's Council member. And so she had a chance to introduce. And so I'm pretty sure everybody knows who the People's Council member is. But for the couple people that may not have recognized yet, Council Member Monica Montgomery, affectionately known as the People's Council member, could you check in and let us know how you're doing today and let the people know who you are?
Yes. Hello. Thank you, Jason, as always. I'm Monica Montgomery, the council member for District 4. It's the most southeastern part of the city of San Diego. Very diverse district, a district that works hard, has a lot of heart, has a lot of love, and also has a lot of knowledge. And so it's a pleasure and honor to represent this district.
Wow. Good stuff. Well, you look incredible. As I said last time, I say all the time, in the midst of stressful situations, your ability to keep yourself together not only brings confidence to other people, but it shows the true amount of leadership that you have in you. And I'm really grateful to be able to see you and see you looking well. And thank you for joining us today. And then also we have joining with us today, representing the Southeastern San Diego COVID-19 Rapid Response Fund, none other than one of the biggest community advocates for District 4, the incomparable, the wonderful, the beautiful Miss Leila Aziz. Can you check in and let the people know how you doing today, Queen?
You're going to do my eulogy, sir.
Don't say that. Don't you ever say that again.
I mean, 50, 60 years from now.
Okay, perfect. I'm with it.
Thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm. So check in, let the people know what it is that you do and why you're here today.
Okay, I work for Pillars of the Community in San Diego. We have a storefront on Imperial Avenue in the heart of Southeast San Diego. Also, I'm a board member for the Jacobs Center. And a few weeks ago, well, about a month ago now, the Jacobs family saw what was going on, saw the crisis, saw the potential pandemic crisis with many people losing their lives in our community, and decided to do something and make sure it was rapid. Make sure that it happened immediately so that we could slow the curve of people being infected. And that's how the COVID Rapid Response Fund did start, with their initial contribution, the San Diego Foundation, and then the firefighters, which is just seeing the impact that you guys are doing. I am so grateful.
Wow. Very, very good. Very good. Well, really grateful for the Jacobs Center recognizing the need for this and being one of the centers in the Southeastern community, really doing a lot of work in filling some of the voids and spaces that are needed in Southeastern San Diego. So really grateful for the Jacobs family, for the Jacobs Center, and for all the staff that's there. And just real quick, I just wanted to say, and this is something I believe is really important. We were talking to the council member a second ago, and I just want to say, with all the great work that happens in the 4th Council District, and there is a lot of it, and we're going to get to that in just a second with you, Leila. I just wanted to, Councilmember Montgomery, I just wanted to call out your staff again and recognize them by name, and let the people know that the work and the leadership that you have is so good because you are a good leader, but also because you have people that believe in what you're doing. And I think that's so important as a council member. And so I just wanted to call your staff out. I know each one of them personally. I love all of them. And so obviously you, the council member, District 4, then we have Mr. Henry Foster, who is your chief of staff. We have we have Mad Max Ellerin, my guy, deputy chief of staff. We have Stephanie Sanchez. She's the office manager and your scheduler. She does an incredible job at making sure that you're where you're supposed to be. And you don't deviate from that either. But if anybody wants to meet with the council member, you better call Stephanie. So she does a great job at that. Then we have Mr. Bruce Williams, the legend of Southeastern San Diego, the district ombudsman and policy advisor. Chloe Triplett, who is your public safety and livable neighborhoods community consultant. Really good job, does a lot with the firefighters in terms of how we interact with the 4th Council District. So shout out to her. And then, I know we're not supposed to have favorites. One of my favorites, Perry Story, your communications director. She is the most wonderful person, one of the greatest people that I know. Eric Henson, policy advisor. Karen Montefaro Federico, she's a council representative for Alta Vista, Encano, Lincoln Park, Webster, Mountain View. And last but certainly not least, Miss Tiffany Harrison, council representative, Greater Skyline Hills, Hamashaw, Lameda Village, Oak Park, Emerald Hills, Valencia Park, and O'Farrell. So shout out to your staff. So Leila, if we could, you talked a little bit about Pillars of the Community, which is one of the organizations that's doing a lot of great work. Can you talk about some of the work that these funds are supporting in Council District 4?
Yes, and a lot of times you can't gauge the success or the need until the service is provided. And so far, this week, there have 3 distribution sites, 3 big ones, and at least 300 to 600 people, cars lined up down the street, have been there demonstrating the need. And this is for food, this is for masks, this is for hand sanitizers, things of that nature. So these are your basic essential things. And then you also have other organizations who are doing more one-on-one, door-to-door. So you have people that are dropping off groceries or picking up medical pharmacists, going to the pharmacy and picking up people's medication who are disabled, can't go out during this time. And these are more of the quiet distributions that are going on that we're seeing. We're seeing young people that are involved in the criminal justice system. And because of rapid response, they're able to have their mentoring going on. They're able to have their needs met. They're getting grocery cards for their family. And so these different things, I kind of try to estimate monthly based on the weekly numbers that we're seeing, which are those bigger distributions to the rapid resource. There's about 14,000 people getting help monthly. That's about 10% of Southeast.
Wow.
And when you look at that and you look at the poverty rates and what's going on, because people are there because they need it. And so what this actually is doing is impact, and it's keeping our community safe. It's keeping our folks healthy. And I'm just greatly appreciative to everyone who stepped up and made this kind of massive, tremendous impact in our community.
Wow. You said 14,000 people?
That's an estimate.
A month? Estimate. Right. Yeah. Roughly 14,000 every month, which is 10%, roughly 10% of District 4.
Yes, that's about roughly 10. That's based on some estimates because, our census is coming up. So do your census, everyone. So we have accurate numbers of people in our community. But that's what we're looking at. But it's some of those smaller stories. So when you see the cars lined up, it breaks your heart because they're literally lined up down the street and you see the need, right? But also when you see people that are so that know nowhere else to turn, who are homebound, and they call their legislature, their state legislature, and say, I need a mask. And they know they can call us. And someone delivers that mask to their doorstep. An elder, a senior, a person that we look up, because that's how we're judged, how we treat our elders, how we treat our youth. And to see that and to have her to know that she'll have a mask dropped off to her every single week because they're temporary and she doesn't need to worry about that. And she also had food dropped off. I Am My Brother's Keeper did that. And I was so appreciative that just a telephone call really helped this woman.
Wow. I mean, you hear these kind of stories and, my heart, my heart just obviously it should make anybody's heart happy. Obviously this is extremely unfortunate that we're in a situation like this, but to see a community be willing to come together. And I'm just telling you, I can't help but continue to mention that these kinds of opportunities come together because people believe in their community. And a lot of that belief comes from the leadership in the community, right? And that's what I think is so amazing about what you do, council member. You are, you believe in a grassroots effort. I mean, that's really what your heart is. And I think it really shows. I don't know how you get 14,000 people roughly a month getting served in the midst of a pandemic like this without the ability for people to really have hope in what they're doing. What does something like that mean to you, council member, when you hear this kind of stuff and, you know, when you get to see all the numbers, you see all the aggregated stats, and I mean, you really get to look at it. What does that mean to you when you see that? How does that affect you as a council member?
In so many ways, it affects me. Right now, we're going into a budget season where we're looking at $450 million in cuts.
Okay.
And the way that we have operated as a city, of course, a lot of those cuts automatically at first glance are going to affect the people that are suffering the most in the first place.
Okay.
And so the calls that we get every day, the situation that we're all in, this is a bright spot compared to everything that we're having to deal with at the city, having to go into that fight, into that battle for our people on the budget level. This is just really a bright spot for me. So the numbers are amazing, but the stories are what really touches my heart, because for someone, especially one of our seniors, to get the relief to know that they don't have to worry about trying to brave this environment and go out and get a mask or go out and get food is just, it does more than what a number can tell us. And so the numbers, like, we have to show those, and those are amazing that we're able to do that much. But just the stories are also amazing. And I'll just say this as well. The reason why I chose this fund was because of exactly what Leila mentioned, is that it gets rapid funding to the organizations that have been doing the work, that are on the ground, that are in touch with the people. A lot of times in our communities, people get funding and we really don't ever see the impact of that funding. And so for this, it goes to those organizations, those trusted community organizations that already have that base. They know who's in need because they've been serving folks who have been in need. And now the circumstances are exacerbated, but they already have that base. And so really it's a model in my mind of how we should conduct business on other levels. You know, there's risk there, but there's also just amazing impact, and we can see that and we can measure that now. So the numbers help to determine that.
Wow. You know, what you said just seems so indicative of the philosophy that it's good to get the resources to the people who are closest to the pain. You know what I mean? And just listening to the stories. And, you know, they always say that a fact can tell a story, but can tell it, but stories actually sell it. Like, they really hear the things that are happening. Is really important for the firefighters to be able to hear what their gifts are doing in the community and the lives that are being helped and saved. Because ultimately that's what we're here for. You know, that's our job. 365 days a year, 24 hours a day is to be public servants. And so to hear that the public is stepping up to be servants is really, really good. And just in closing, I'll go to you first, Leila, and then I'll come back to you to close out, council member. Leila, you know, are there any other things that you would like to say about the fund and about what these donations mean to the Jacob Center and to the Southeastern San Diego COVID-19 Rapid Response Fund in closing?
I just want to reemphasize my gratitude for the donations, my gratitude for these organizations that are on the ground, practicing social distancing and having on essential items that protect them and the community, abiding by the laws, and really caring about making sure that not just some of us who are in more of a healthy kind of targeted population, but all of our community members make it through this. That's very important to me.
Wow, amazing. Council member, and we'll with you want to, again, just some closing words for the Southeastern San Diego COVID-19 Rapid Response Fund and the Jacob Center. Anything else that you'd like to close with?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. I'm grateful to have the governor that we have right now in California that is leading the way and being recognized nationally, but also our leaders locally. We've been all trying to work together. But I especially want to thank Local 145 for this, because I can know you as a public safety entity wanting to keep us safe. It really shows your heart that you went above and beyond and called all council members and said, we really want to do this, and taking money out of your paychecks to fund something like this is just like, I really can't express how grateful I am for that, especially knowing that how often in the past that we have overlooked our firefighters at the city of San Diego.
Right.
And so it just really shows the heart that you all have, and I'm very grateful for that.
Wow, that means a lot. Thank you so much. And we do it. No one joins the fire department to become famous or to get rich. It's really a heart issue. And this is just one small way that we can say to the community, hey, we see you, we see what you're going through. We want to be a part of it as much as we can. You're going to call 911, but maybe sometimes we could be like a little bright spot as well. So once again, I just want to say thank you to both of you for taking this time to speak with us today. Councilmember Monica Montgomery, AKA affectionately known as the People's Council Member, more than obvious why that is, and the incomparable, the wonderful Leila Aziz from Pillars of the Community, San Diego, but also from the Jacobs Center, board member from the Jacobs Center. Thank you and thank you to the Jacobs family and for creating the Southeastern San Diego COVID-19 Rapid Response Fund and all the work that's being done. And on behalf of Local 145, our president, Jesse Connor, and the entire board and all the firefighters that belong to Local 145 that pay into the Community Responsibility Fund, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for having a plan to be able to use the funds to be able to help so many people. We love the community. That's why we do it 365 days a year. So again, thank you so much for taking your time to be with us today, and join us tomorrow for another organization that'll be highlighted through our 19 days of supporting COVID-19 project through Local 145. Have a great day. All right, cool.
Okay.
Appreciate